YUL EDOCHIE right now has become a private investigator. It's not as if he has not been doing this before, but now it has become extreme. It is now extreme. YUL EDOCHIE wants to find out. YUL EDOCHIE wants to know. And the purpose of this is for him to have more evidence. Do not forget that he has a court to attend. And what May has been saying is that YUL EDOCHIE is an adulterer and that she wants out of the marriage. Now, how can YUL EDOCHIE counter this? It's more or less like using one stone to bring down two birds. That's what it is, nothing more. How can I do this? Now, if we look at the role of Pet EDOCHIE in all of this, people have observed and they have thought about it this way. They said that if Pet, a veteran, a grandfather, if he had not said that Solomon in the Bible is a man of wisdom. Now, that came after YUL EDOCHIE had portrayed himself as King Solomon. The only thing YUL EDOCHIE picked from the total life of Solomon is the marriage to several women. How does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? Of all the things done by Solomon, the only thing YUL EDOCHIE thought should be picked in the life of Solomon is nothing more than polygamy, acquiring of several women. YUL EDOCHIE did not even think of the consequences of the acts of the same Solomon. So when Pet EDOCHIE said this thing, it gave Judy Austin so much energy, so much energy. She came out gun blazing. She spoke and talked. There's nothing that didn't come out of her mouth. There's nothing that she did not say. All because Pet EDOCHIE said Solomon was a man of wisdom. And since YUL EDOCHIE claimed that he's now Solomon, then YUL EDOCHIE must be intelligent. I don't know how this connects together. So because you picked one part, one side of an individual, does that make you the complete embodiment of that person? No. Have you also looked at the mistakes of that person? If Solomon, in his wisdom, knowledge, understanding, if he processed it, because it is one thing for you to know, that's knowledge. Now, applying what you know rightly or appropriately is called wisdom. Yes, Solomon did not apply wisdom because it does not make sense for you to acquire that number of women. What are you going to do with them? Is it even possible for Solomon to sleep with all those women? Let us say all through his life, he had one per week. Maybe. But afterwards, these women were just left there to waste what God had given to Solomon. Same way, Judy wanted to come into YUL EDOCHIE's life, or let us even say me, come into her life to waste all that she has worked for all through her life, all through her days. You see, Before we proceed further, please like and share, tap on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. I want to say a special thank you to those that have tapped on the thanks button, the one with the love icon and the dollar sign in the middle of it. May God Almighty replenish your pockets. If you also want to be a part of this, kindly tap on the same button. And God bless you. So, it is obvious that Chris crushed YUL=EDOCHIE's ego, the fake one that, that chip on his shoulder, acting like he's a Superman, I am Odogu, that fake false self-esteem, over bloated one, that false one. Chris really snapped it into two. Chris really, he did terrible things to it. Because YUL=EDOCHIE is not happy. Because, come on. To him, how dare Chris show such chemistry, that connection to May? To him, Chris and May are into one thing. And that thing that they are into is the same that he is into. He said he's into skit making. Now, Chris has not said anything. May has not said anything. Look at their display recently. People said, no, that handshake, that hug, and these are things people do when they do not want to be talked about on social media, or when they are not ready to tell you, to show to you what they are into. This is how people act. This is how they behave. Now, you see, YUL=EDOCHIE has started some underground work. He has started it. Yes, he has started digging into May and MD Chris. He has his ways of getting information. He's trying to find out. He's doing research. He has asked one or two people to help him engage Chris to gather information, either audio recordings, video recordings. In fact, if it is possible, YUL=EDOCHIE will park his car right in front of Chris' house with a camcorder, a camera to record. We're even hearing that YUL=EDOCHIE wants to get one of those cameras that can be transported in the air. So once they can be transported over the house of Chris, YUL=EDOCHIE wants to gather information that way. Ladies and gentlemen, look at what's going on here. Can you believe it? Can you believe what YUL=EDOCHIE wants to do now? I don't know why he doesn't want to give peace and rest to May. Give her peace and rest. She said she doesn't want polygamy. She has a right. But that thing inside of YUL=EDOCHIE that makes him believe that he owns May. You don't own nobody. A woman or a man can only be together when they agree and accept. Once one party or both decide not to be, how dare anyone say, I own you, you belong to me? You don't belong to nobody. My wife, my children. No, that person stops being your wife or husband once there is a breakdown, a separation, and the ultimate of it, divorce. But some men, they believe that until RIP do us part, that's when they believe that that marriage should cease to exist. But it is not that way. YUL=EDOCHIE needs to be taught a lesson.